Hey guys, welcome back again to the GameSpot stage. I'm still Cam Robinson, I'm still in my wonderful orange chair, but something new has happened, guys. The Earth is doomed. We have to leave Earth and find a new home. Fortunately, we have just the man to tell us how to go about doing this, how to build a habitat in space. Charles, I understand you're going to build us a habitat in space when the Earth goes to hell. Is that true?
Absolutely. Well,
fantastic.
More importantly, you get to build a habitat when we go to space, but I'll show you how.
You trust me to do that?
The whole Earth is going to trust you.
Oh God, we're doomed.
With that chair you're sitting in? Seriously.
Yeah, I got just coming with me.
Commander.
All right, so your game is called Habitat.
Yes.
Tell us about it. What's going on?
Habitat's a game about building space stations out of space junk. It's a strategic space survival game.
Wow, okay. Out of space junk, so just like
Absolutely.
stuff we've left up in the atmosphere from previous space launches, or is it asteroids, or what are we talking about?
And that's part of it. That's only one part. Sure, there's all that stuff. There's rockets and there's satellites, but there's all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't even imagine. There's mega yachts. The Statue of Liberty's head is up there. The Eiffel Tower, because you said it yourself. The Earth is doomed. So what are we going to do? We're going to put booster rockets on everything.
And fly it up.
Fly it all up there.
It sounds beautifully like Futurama or something. It's amazing.
It does sound like that. It's the year 11,000, so you can see that.
It is, yeah.
Absolutely. So we can walk through the game and
let's
show you what's going on.
Let's do it.
So Habitat, as I said, all about putting together your own space station. So in this sea of space junk, you can see it all around you. I mean, we go right for the Lady Liberty, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I can
is.
grab that and put
Why
it on.
is she a cyborg? Why is there a red dot on her eye?
Like I said, year 11,000.
Oh, I
you
see.
can see
Cyber,
it, can't
it's
you?
Cyber Lady.
Oh,
Liberty.
absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. Now we start you out in this version with a starter habitat. You can see it's kind of put together with a little ramshackle stuff. Now it's as easy as just grabbing anything you want and saying, I want the shipping containers and I want that thing. And I want a particle cannon. I mean, because who doesn't want one of those, right? And you have your full option. You can turn stuff around, set it up any way you want to. And your engineers, they're taking care of it for you all at once. Check it out.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are working hard. You've got Minicam up in the right-hand corner so you can see what they see. It's especially cool when they go twisting and flying off like crazy space knots. And then, of course, as you grow, you're going to need to manage your oxygen, food, electricity on board to keep your people alive.
Gotcha.
So what you do is you actually upgrade the pieces that you've added. So for this gas tank, it can be an electric generator or an oxygen generator. Now you can't live in it and you can't grow food in it. So you're going to need to figure out which pieces you need to get bigger, to grow bigger, and have more people on board. Now eventually, you're going to be so big, there's not going to be any resources around you. That's when you strap on the rockets and you take your city for a spin. You actually fly using rocket physics. Now you can see with only 2 rockets on board, I've kind of made like a design error here. Clearly it's only going to be able to, it's only going to be able to
What
go.
are you doing, man?
Well, survival in space isn't easy.
You just killed mankind's last.
I like to think of it as
bastion.
I like to think of it as avoiding hitting the Statue of Liberty's head. Thank you very much. Now, flying around is dangerous in space, but it's not the only issue. You're not the only habitat out there. I mean, there's enemy habitats that are going to be coming to get your resources.
Now I see why you want that plasma cannon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not that we're going to get a chance to use that now. But over here, here's a great example of what you can do. You can build as many habitats as you want. Some can be strictly for offensive use. This is my favorite. This is called the Ripper. It's just a big old grappling hook and 2 big rockets. So I just snagged that whole enemy habitat. Now I'm going to play fire and forget. It's going to fire both those rockets. We're going to go straight forward. We're going to grab that enemy habitat, yank him in half, and smash him into this guy's yacht. There we go.
That was a bit of a suicide mission, though, right?
Well, it was, and this rocket is not stopping either. I think it's gonna go right into the orbital boundary. It's gonna burn up in orbit.
So what happens if you go too close? Do you get sucked down into Earth's gravity?
You sure do, and it doesn't matter. Whether it's an engineer, your habitat, the Eiffel Tower. If it falls into the atmosphere, it burns up. That's game over for that piece of space junk. So you're building, you're upgrading, you're flying, you're fighting the craziest creations that you can make. I mean, that's what we're encouraging in Habitat.
Okay. So it's all about making just like ridiculous bases and trying to survive. So what's the difficulty like? I mean, that looked pretty. Like you willfully destroyed your beautiful thing, and then you also had this massive gun that you created.
Exactly.
So how difficult is it?
The way to think about Habitat's difficulty is we want you to build something that you care about, something that will survive, and as you see, it's a little tough to survive. as you upgrade, you'll be able to buff up your habitat so that you will be able to survive. You're going to be dealing with threats from the exterior, like the bad guys and the nanomachines that are eating Earth, coming up and trying to attack you.
So that's what happened, nanomachines.
That's right. It's a nanomachine plague, and they'll come up and they'll try to attack you as well. And then the internal difficulties are going to be the fact that your citizens aren't very good at living in space. They're going to continuously set fires. They're going to press the airlock eject button because they thought it was the flush on the space toilet. You're going to have to deal with crises on board your station. The difficulty is going to be that mix between the external craziness and the internal kind of almost like the FTL kind of what's going on inside your station.
Okay.
In a lot of ways, the game, there's like two games at once, and you get to switch between them as you upgrade, build, and go out and try to survive.
I mean, is it quite relaxed pressure, or is that constant like, oh god, I'm running out of oxygen, oh god, I need to do this bit now, oh, I haven't been enough food? Like, how much does the tension build?
The best way to answer that is to tell you that the community is going to help us decide where the place is, because Habitat is coming to Steam Early Access in July. Next month, we're going to be out there for people to play, to give us feedback, to tell us, hey, I want junk that does this or that, or all these other things. And without the help of the community, I mean, a game like this, we live or die by the community that we have. So we're gonna go full on early access July, and then we're going to find out answers to those questions with your help.
Fantastic. So is it like currently a single player experience, or could it be like online multiplayer, or what are your thoughts?
It is a single player experience right now. I will tell you, we've been at GDC, at PAX East, here at E3. The #1 request is, will you have multiplayer?
Like competitive multiplayer,
co-op, PvP, we're exploring all the options, and not to sound like a broken record, but it's going to come down to the community. If we get the love, if they really want it, and if we've got what it takes in that core community, we'll drive for it. We're going to give you what you want out of this game.
Fantastic. So the dangers that you are encountering as you're trying to build your space station.
Yeah.
Do you have to contend with things like radiation, or from your people being in space for too long and their bone wasting, and I mean, how much have you gone into like the kind of hardcore scienciness of it? I mean, do you need to worry about little bits of space debris coming through and punching holes in your station, or is it a bit more relaxed than that?
We've encountered some of these questions already as we've built it. One of the things we had to do in the very beginning was we actually had to nerf some of the damage because it would create an unstoppable chain reaction. That's actually a real thing. It's called the Kessler syndrome.
Yeah.
And you can create an unstable environment in space. Now you're screwed. You'll never be able to fly in space again. Yeah. We actually had to stop that from happening because it wasn't any fun. No. And so things like bone wasting and radiation, the answer is, as we explore it, we say, well, what's going to make this game more fun, more creative, and add to that experience? And if it is fun and it is creative, it's a candidate for going in. If we discover it's not fun and the folks don't like it, well, it's a game. Get it out of there.
Well, seeing as it's all about the reaction to the community, if you're watching at home and you have any questions for Christopher, then you should tweet at me right now at CamFrazRob. That's at CamFrazRob. It's like my name split into 3 bits. Anyway, but tweet there, and then those questions I will throw at Christopher, because he obviously wants your feedback. Because you could, right now could decide the direction of Habitat, right? Yeah, whatever the first tweet
that's
says.
what we stand by. I mean,
if you request something in the game in the next tweet, I can guarantee it'll go in the game. All right, so let's do that.
He just guaranteed it.
I just guaranteed it. Yeah.
I'm gonna fly my little
so
ship
let's
around.
just show a bit more of the gameplay off here.
Absolutely. Well, right now I'm trying to get this thing to not hit the nuclear missile, and I totally failed.
Why is there a nuclear missile in space?
Yeah, well, like I say, people are asking, well, what's the Statue of Liberty doing in orbit? And I'm like, well, why wouldn't it be there?
Will, we have our first question.
Sure.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I am.
So Stuart Hopkins says, could I expand habitats outside our solar system? ? How big is the universe? How big is your gameplay universe?
So in its current version, Habitat is really focused on Earth orbit, and we have several different orbits that we plan to work in. So one is your sort of your close in Earth orbit, and then we're going to go all the way out to what's called the graveyard orbit, where everything is sort of dead. For us, that's almost like, it's going to be like an alien graveyard experience. You're going to find very strange stuff out there. Now, we're trying to keep Earth sort of central to the plot of the game, and so right now I can tell you it'll be an experience that'll start from Earth and go significantly out past into orbit. Could we go to other planets? Well, I guess we'll have to find out. But
right,
for
right.
now, we
Good-
want to
good
keep
question.
Earth part of that experience.
Good first question. So Habitat was kickstarted, is that right?
That's right.
Yeah,
we
tell
had
me
a
about that
Kickstarter.
process. How was that for you guys?
It was incredible. Kickstarter, we did a 30-day Kickstarter starting on April 2nd. We felt it would be a pretty bad idea to start a Kickstarter on April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Probably not a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
So we waited one day and then we fired it off. Now we went for 30 days. We set a target of $50,000. We got such a great response from the community. We raised $64,000. We were so grateful, and we continue to be grateful that we have the money to survive and build this game and get to early access. One of the things that my mentors told me as we got the Kickstarter process started is stop development on your game. Seriously, it is a full-time job to run a Kickstarter, and they were dead right. They were so right, because every day it was Twitch streaming and talking to the press and sharing the love and the excitement. I was just so excited to wake up every day and see and talk with people. It was huge. But I will say, kind of like a conference, when you get done, all you want to do is go back and keep working on your game.
Damn
and
right,
so
yeah,
it was
I can
really
bet.
exciting.
So which kind of group of game players do you think you're appealing to? Like, which fans of, like, what you mean, like strategy games like Civilization, do you think, or like which audience do you think you're getting people from with this? Because it's a new game. It's kind of quite a unique concept, really.
I feel like it scratches a lot of different itches for gamers, and that's kind of what I am. I dabble in all kinds of games. I'm a huge fan of the sim games. I'm a huge Kerbal Space Program nut. FTL, I've got it on every single system, including iPad, and of course, Civilization is huge. Sid Meier is an icon of mine. And the reboot of XCOM was basically like my game of the year for like 2 years.
Enemy Unknown.
Oh, it was huge. It was huge.
Yeah,
So
you guys are Firaxis,
I feel like the players that play these games are living in those worlds. They're looking for a new experience to build space. They're looking for a new experience to create things, and they're ready to get a little silly. They're ready to geek out and have some fun.
Awesome. Well, let's have a look at a little bit more gameplay before
Sure.
if you've got some more in your demo.
Sure,
We've got,
absolutely,
like, 2 more minutes
absolutely.
left
Let
or so.
me just run it real quick here, and we'll pop in. We'll try a few other things that I like to do. Let me drop a few of these shipping containers. We talked about that particle cannon. We didn't get to use it. I want to use it.
All
Let's
right.
get this thing on board.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to put the particle cannon right here next to the gas tank, because that's
Great
a good
idea.
idea.
That's a brilliant-
And I'm going to
foolproof.
go ahead and select this guy right here. I'm going to upgrade it so we have enough electricity to fire this bad boy. And while I'm waiting for these guys to bring their stuff in, say hi to the space dog.
Space
Hey,
dog.
Hey, little guy.
Of course.
Yeah,
Is he a
absolutely.
robot? I guess he's a robot dog, right? 'Cause,
Well, no, he's a real dog. He's just going out for a walk right now.
Oh, he's in a space suit.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
he's a dog in a spacesuit. Yeah.
Of course. Why
There we
not?
go, and I'll put a booster rocket right on the particle cannon, and we're going to get this thing going. Now check this out. The particle cannon that we have right here, we're going to fire this baby, and it's actually a push beam. If I turn this thing on and leave it on, I'm going to go ahead and fire the rockets. We're going to go ahead and drag it over here. We're going to start pushing this stuff all over the place. We're going to get crazy.
Oh, man.
It's going to be a little nuts.
This
now,
is only going to end in tears.
exactly. Okay, now I'm going to turn all the rockets on. Let's do this thing.
I think you just play this game because you just like to build and then destroy your creations, Charles. This is all you seem to be doing. You're not surviving at all.
You know,
If this scenario ever happens in real life, I am not putting you in charge.
I'm not an evil man, and I'm giving everybody else command. I think there's going to be people out there. 99% of the gaming community will be way better commanders than I could ever
Fantastic.
be.
Well, Charles, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on stage and showing off Habitat. So thank you very much for doing that. Enjoy what's left of E3. As for you guys